Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ting. You have been learning Chinese for many years, and sometimes people still don't understand what you're saying, or you still have a thick foreign accent. In today's video, we're gonna talk about 5 terrible Mandarin Chinese speaking habits that you should get rid of. Number 1 is a dramatic voice. Well, I don't know whether some people doing this by purpose or not, but their speaking voice in Chinese is actually quite high relative to their English. And I think a lot of learners do this there's a kind of this perception that you have to kind of sing Chinese. It's like 你好，我是 Daniel. Strictly speaking, that's kind of unnecessary. You can just simply say 哎，你好，我是 Daniel. All the same kind of level. Number 2 is that use a little bit of work on tones. Instead of saying 你好，我是美国人。我叫 Daniel. You may say 你好，我是美国人，我叫 Daniel. I have heard that Chinese has tones and somewhat butches a sentence. So for example, 你好，我是美国人, whereas the correct Chinese pronunciation is 你好，我是美国人. Okay, well, this actually doesn't really affect comprehension. As much as you might think people are still going to be able to understand what you are saying, but it's kind of like in English, instead of saying my name is Daniel, you are instead to say the sentence my name is Daniel. You can see that the emphasis is kind of off, and the process a little bit off, like people are gonna look at you a little funny, like your accent a little bit weird. Okay, number 3, mispronunciation. Sometimes people have pronunciation issues beyond just tones, like pronouncing certain things that are kind of very incomprehensible. For example, the word, instead of Guangzhou, I heard one people said Guangzhou. Okay, Guangzhou. It's kind of when a lot of those stuck up, and it's kind of harder to understand what's actually going on. Okay, number 4, different speech pattern, different prosody. So sometimes people's grammar is really very unpointed. When you say the sentence, I have a friend called Kelly, in Mandarin Chinese, what you would be saying is that I have a called Kelly friend. So the clause that modifies the noun actually comes before and modifies it like an adjective, which is like a very unusual kind of pattern for English speakers. That's because in Chinese, relative clauses are very unusual for English speakers' perspective. One more example, 我会说慢，我会说容易. Sometimes people emphasizing the exact way that an English speaker would emphasize it, whereas a Chinese person might say 我会说慢一点，我会说简单一点. With a kind of different speech pattern, different prosody. Speak of the point, I really want to say that people often code switches their Chinese into an English syntax. I received one word, this one, before, and I still not totally get what people meant. Number 5, comprehensive ability. So sometimes I have to go a few times before I really able to understand what actually going on. a native speaker sometimes not able to understand without really paying close attention. For example, I can speak a little bit Chinese in English. I can speak a little bit Chinese. Something like that. You can kind of understand where it's coming from, but there is enough issues where it actually becomes kind of hard for comprehension. And then even very basic words too. I heard that people say jungle. I kept hearing jungle. Finally, I figured out people were trying to say was 中国. So 中国 and jungle, 中国 jungle. So people mispronounce the word for China that people actually know how to say it correctly, but probably due to nervous or you have to take care of the whole sentence, then people mispronounced it. Alright, here is the 5 terrible Mandarin Chinese speaking habits that I want to share today. Please be aware of them so that I eventually get rid of them. Okay? Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe. See you.